to say, like, this guy undressed me online. Arrest him. There's no path for that. There's no path for restitution for women that have experienced this. That is a cybercrime, and we need proper pathways to attribute and to get justice.
Hi, welcome back to The Intersect. I'm your host, Corrine. Today we are exploring digital safety with Tazin Khan, a globally recognized cyber risk expert and the founder of Cyber Collective. Welcome to The Intersect.
Thank you. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we are very excited to have you in this moment. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about online safety, what it's like to live online today.
Yeah.
But there's a lot in the news very recently, so your expertise is coming in quite handy. It's a terrifying time to be a woman on the internet. Grok, AI, sudden nudity of women. I was going to start by asking you about just like, is it safe to be online? But I'm going to start by asking you to talk about the latest, I don't know, it's like episode issue of women and safety and digital images and fakery and deep fakery and what is one to do? Yeah, what do you make of this moment?
One of the things, and I feel that you as a media expert would really appreciate this, is the way that the headlines are set up. So something that has been really grinding my gears is all the headlines say that Grok is undressing women. Grok is a tool. Grok is a technology, and technology is facilitated by people. People are prompting. Grok didn't wake up one day and was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to start undressing women right now. Like, Grok did not come up with that. People came up with that. And in particular, not to create very absolute distinctions, but men. And there's a lot of research, a lot of statistics behind this. And when I talk about it online, I left a comment on the Wired post and I said, great that the story's being covered, but it's men, not just Grok. And then men responded to that comment and said, but women are posting their photos online. Oh, but women are feeding the data. And
it's just a new victim blaming.
It's a new victim blaming. So not to take it to that direction, but the whole thing with this Grok debacle is that it stems from like a very known issue in industry called technology facilitated gender-based violence. This is something that a lot of researchers and experts have been warning technologists and tech companies about, but it's scary. It's something that continues to happen. We have not even, what they're doing with children's images are especially disgusting. But for people, without making this sound way too like devastating, right? Because we want people to know that they're empowered. At least I do. That's my mission and goal. We can do something about this, and that's reporting, being aware, and standing up when these issues are happening through the tools that we use every day.
So when you say reporting, as a private user, reporting to who, to whom?
Great question. You can report it directly to the platform. Now, this is a part of the other issues. Who owns it? What's their propensity? And that's where politics comes into play and some of what we're seeing in society today, which makes it a pretty egregious cycle. But you can report it. There's also reporting to the FTC as well. Also reporting to FBI Cybercrime Center, because this is a cybercrime issue.
It's important, though, just like as a regular person on the internet, knowing that you can report these things to the FBI cybercrimes. This is a cybercrime.
This is a cybercrime.
You post a photo in a tank top. I'm going to ask you if you would actually do that now, but like I would and then it's turned into like you're in a bikini. Actually, you have on no bikini. Okay, that is a cybercrime. It
is.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that there are no specific laws. So now we're going into the policy, right? State by state, it's different. It is very difficult to attribute who has done what. In the cyber law space, even on an international level, we have policies in place to say this country, this organization did something bad, and these are the consequences and the repercussion. At an individual level, that attribution and to say, like, this guy undressed me online, arrest him. There's no path for that.
Yeah.
There's no path for restitution for women that have experienced this at this time, or men, like both genders are experiencing the harms of this technology. But I define it as a cybercrime, as a cyber risk expert. That is a cybercrime, and we need proper pathways to attribute and to get justice. And that's where we are right now, is figuring out how we do that.
Just jumping into further into the policy piece, the reason you define this as a cybercrime, as a risk expert in this space. The government or the platforms, who is accountable, who's responsible, and is it? In my mind, I'm thinking of some section 230 that says platforms are not responsible for the material produced within their environments. I mean, that's a very bad interpretation of it. But is that what we lean on, that says this isn't a cybercrime? Or is there, really?
The technology has moved so fast that it can't keep up. The laws can't keep up, right? From a cybercrime perspective, when it comes to even women going to law enforcement to share they're being stalked, whether it's in person or online, it's hard for law enforcement to be able to navigate, because the laws that we have in place today, you have to show physical harm or something, right? Like a very pertinent and imminent threat. And so a deep fake of your body being used online is not necessarily an imminent threat.
I mean, we're down the rabbit hole of just, being a woman online. And AI has just accelerated these things that were already true in the fabric of our structural existence.
Right.
I don't know. What do you do?
I can only speak for myself, and I'm thankful that you asked, because I don't want to speak on behalf of other women. I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
I personally don't post a lot of photos of myself in certain type of clothing. And this is very recent. And this happened because I posted on TikTok last summer, and I was wearing workout clothes in my videos. And in a few of the videos, I'm at an angle like this. And there were about 6 or 7 videos that were saved on my TikTok. And then one where I am it's very close to my face. And immediately my brain was like, oh, they're going to make a video of me deep fake porn.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
You're this is a layup.
You can see my full physique in the videos. I don't doubt that it exists out there somewhere. And that really freaked me out. I blocked that person. I took those videos down. But there is not much that we can do.
Except not post, then, is kind of
which is saying. Unfair, and I don't believe in that.
Which is unfair, right.
And so a part of it is ignorance is bliss. And I know as an expert that sounds crazy to say, but it's just for anybody that does come on your podcast or anywhere that says I have a solution for this, they're a fucking liar. Because if you actually know what's happening, if you actually think about the policy and what people are trying to solve for, it is too vast of an issue to be able to have a very specific answer against when it comes to people being undressed online using AI.
Yeah. You touched on responsibility. Where do you think the responsibility should be with these tech companies and the state of what's happening with their AI platforms?
I think the responsibility is shared across a lot of leaders, but for tech companies specifically, they are responsible to moderate and to see what people are inputting into their tools. And I do know that OpenAI, Claude, they will stop users from generating certain inappropriate content. But at this time, Grok is not. Even though there are claims being made that it's, fake news or this is not the case, but thousands of people are saying that it is. So I do believe that there is a very specific responsibility that tech companies hold because they have the control of the tool. They have control of the product. They can say what's happening and what's allowed to happen or not to happen.
At the end of the day, if you're allowed to put up a shingle and build this, you have to have the responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do think that we need a bit more collective resilience around this. I believe that the more, and this is where my work is rooted in doing the awareness and education, because the more people are aware and empowered that this this is happening, this is wrong, and we believe that these people should be responsible around it, whether it be the tech companies, whether it be government or law enforcement, what have you. But then it allows different groups of people to activate themselves and push back even more to get the pressure to make sure that these things don't continue to happen or what have you.
Okay, you're the founder and CEO of Cyber Collective. What do you guys do over there at Cyber Collective?
We're a nonprofit organization, and so I started it. It will be 7 years this year, doing this work. I saw that there was a very clear gap in the information that I had and that knowledge reaching the people that I love. My dad had gotten hacked. One of my best friends had gotten sextorted, which means that somebody was, saying, I'm going to use your photos if you don't give me money, etc. And so at that moment, I'm like, okay, I need to educate people around this. And so I started making content in my living room, doing workshops out of my apartment, and then one thing led to another. And we are officially like an education and mobilization nonprofit, and we focus on helping people understand the impact of technology so that they can protect themselves online.
What do you think some of the biggest misconceptions are about online safety that people have?
It can't be me.
Oh.
Like it's one of those things that happens to somebody that they know that knows someone as opposed to becoming a victim of it themselves. But I do believe and see that people are waking up to it. That's one. The second is that a bad thing that happens online doesn't necessarily impact somebody physically. Also a misconception, right?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Like, let's take bias algorithms. And people don't always make the connection, which I don't believe it's their responsibility to. Let's start there. But people don't always make the connection that if I sign or agree to these terms and conditions, that it will impact maybe a loan I can get. It would impact perhaps the healthcare I receive, the way my data is used to make a determination about me algorithmically that I don't have control over. So a specific example of this is there was a big case of, I forget all of the details, so I'm going to say this sparingly, but a man and his wife go to Disney World. Wife dies from anaphylactic shock. Man had told Disney that she has this allergy. They didn't listen. Wife unfortunately passes away. Man tries to sue Disney, and Disney pushed back saying that he could not sue Disney because he accepted the terms and conditions of his Disney Plus account.
I see.
And the Disney Plus subscription that he had like the subscription that he signed up for was only a trial. So even in just a trial, he was not even paying for Disney yet. He signed up for a trial, and the lawyers tried to argue that you cannot sue Disney because of the terms and conditions that were laid out within this,
Sure.
this video, like a subscription service. Like that person would never think that that would lead to this. But that's like a really clear example of a decision that you make online that impacts your actual livelihood or the livelihood of the people around you.
Well, okay, so what ended up happening with this Disney suit?
Disney ended up withdrawing their claim to say, oh, you can't sue us because you signed up for these terms and conditions. I think somebody had their head on, right? There, which is really good. The moral of this story is that what you sign up for on the internet can impact you IRL.
So those terms of service, that just say a little bit more about that. Do we just click? Are we supposed to actually read those? Most people don't have an attorney. Those are hard to understand.
Totally. As far as terms and conditions are concerned, this is what I tell people. We're not going to read them.
Yeah.
That's a reality, right? Yeah. People are not reading, and they're very long. And like you said, very dense and hard to understand. For people that do care about their privacy and security, because there are a lot of people that do and a lot of people that are like, right? And I try to meet people where they are. So speaking to those that do care, I would recommend is taking the terms and conditions. It normally leads you, you read more and it takes you to a page. And if you use AI, ask it what trade-offs you're making if you sign up for this. if I sign up for this, what trade-offs am I making? And the AI will give you some information, at least to give you an idea, right, of what it is. And most of them are very similar. So you'll start noticing a pattern that they're collecting the same kind of data, they're sharing the same kind of data. The biggest piece, I think, with the terms and conditions is before, at least for me, before I sign up for something, I need to make sure that there's a clear way for me to delete my data from whatever I'm signing up for and delete my account. The tools make it really difficult to do that. And one of the things that we have in our courses and our workshops is we help people just like do a quick tech audit of like thinking about, what did you sign up for? What type of technology do you have? What are you protecting right now? What are the things important to you? Privacy isn't important to everybody, and that's okay, right? Like it doesn't need to be. But your kid's going to college, or, whether you get this mortgage or not, that's important to you. So let me help you understand how that's connected, and let me help you make the trade-offs that are important to you on a daily basis.
If digital safety were like a driver's ed course, what's mandatory? Like, what do you have to know?
What you click matters.
What you click matters.
Slowing down before you click something, before you accept a message from somebody that you don't know, before you click to download a PDF of some sort online. And then the other is a bit deeper, but at least having a high level understanding of the way the data ecosystem works. If I am receiving a text message from UPS, but I have not sent anything to UPS, I probably don't want to click that text. And or when has UPS or FedEx or any delivery service ever contacted you when you lost a package? Right? So getting a little critical about these types of scams and the fraud that we see online. So slowing down, thinking critically, and making a couple of high-level macro connections of that doesn't feel right. And then we end with like, trust your gut. Truly trust your gut.
Okay, so these text messages that you're talking about, UPS, I've gotten them. We've gotten them. It seems like it's getting worse.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Is this AI supercharging it, or what is AI going to do to all of this?
AI is a vehicle. So anything that's already happening, AI is going to exponentially make it go above and beyond. So now we're seeing, obviously, we already talked about deepfakes, right, and the harm that can happen. But you can use that same technology to like clone people's voices, to clone people's videos and their likeness and images. So we're seeing a lot more fraud come up, and people are susceptible to believing what they see on the internet, and not a lot. I mean, my parents are watching AI slap videos on Facebook all day long, right? Like, what do you do and how do we protect people from this? One of the specific things that we recommend that people do is having a safe word with your family members, something that only you and your family would know, that is not written down anywhere, that's not online, or a specific memory that you don't have any photos posted about, that, or like it cannot be available online, because that's how good these malicious actors are, and that's how much we could use AI to scrub the internet to get information. So highly recommend having that type of safe word, and not to fear monger, but that's where the awareness part comes in, and staying where, a lot of times people are like, I don't understand anything about technology. I can't. It's way in over my head. I unfortunately don't think that we have that luxury in society anymore. I think that we need to do a little better, and we have to stay on top of these things. Being aware of these types of scams and what's happening, I think, is also equally important.
The safe word idea strikes me as just a very basic but very brilliant, like, sort of way to. So tell me what to do. Should I call my family and talk about it? I should not put it in a text message or an email.
I wouldn't put it in a text message or email. I would just sit your family down and be like, hey, this is happening, especially if you've had an experience of somebody calling and there's this whole like, I'm kidnapped, I'm stuck in Mexico, and grandparents are being phone called, and it's an actual video that they can send of the kid, right? And so telling whoever might be most susceptible in your family of like, here's the hierarchy of who you call when that happens, right? If you get a phone call saying that somebody in our immediate family or, friend circle, collective, the scam is happening, who's the first person you want to contact to tell them that I just got this phone call, what do I do, right?
Yeah.
And then also identify this is the safe word that we have. So if you are on the phone with somebody, it's like, tell me our word. What's our word? And so that person will not, like, tell me the safe word. And they're like, Grandma, I can't remember. I don't remember. We talked about, like, yes, you do remember.
Yes, you do remember.
Because you do know. And that is how I think drastic that we have to be.
Deepfakes, they've been on the rise. They're on the rise more than ever. How do you, they look real. Are there any telltale things that you notice or would tell people?
It is getting harder and harder and harder to be able to identify because the better the technology gets and the better the detection technology gets, then the technology gets better at detecting the detection technology. That's the catch-22 that exists around it. Here are the things that I would recommend that you always be aware of. No matter what, scams are always pushing for urgency. They're always pushing, like, you have to do this right now. You have to send the money, do the thing, click the link right now. So, like, a crazy amount of urgency around something is often a tell of, whoa, like, this is, there are a ton of different scams that exist out there. So the urgency. The other is, if you receive a video of some sort, I would try to really make these connections of, like, what are you hearing versus what are you seeing? Look for the eyes as well. Like, a lot of times, like in deepfake videos, you can see like the eyes going like this a little bit. Fingers are sometimes not well put together. The small details. If you are talking to somebody that wears certain types of jewelry, is that jewelry on them? If you know that they never wear a middle part and all of a sudden they have a middle part. So those are the small tells. There are these scams around sending you meeting invitations and contacting you. Like, it's tough to talk about because there are so many specific types of scams that are out there. There are the ones that pretend to be help desk. There's the ransom deepfakes. There's the deepfake of saying like, oh, I have this porno of you that I'm going to release on the internet if you don't give me the money. So with all of these types of AI facilitated scams that exist on the internet, again, it goes back to those internet street smarts, right? If there is urgency, what is the urgency around? If they're claiming they're a company, hang up, call the company itself directly. If they're claiming to be an individual in your family, call the cell phone number of the person that they're saying it's from, or call that family member or whatever hierarchy you created if your family did develop that contingency plan around a scam of this sort. Look for that urgency. With these scammers, the more calm you are, the more information you try to get out of them, the more agitated they become. And so you'll start to see things too, right? So if you can remain calm, which is so difficult, right? So I understand how hard that would be. That would be a really large part of getting the information from the folks that are trying to get information out of you.
Helpful. Thank you.
I hope so. I hope it's helpful. Sometimes I feel like it's a lot of like hypothetical scenarios with these things that we recommend, but what do you do when you're actually in it? In the security space, we have something called red teaming and tabletop exercises where you basically practice and role play a scenario, which are some of the things that we do in our workshops. But it is a scary time, but those are the helpful tools. I just want to reiterate to people that there are so many companies and people that are working so incredibly hard to help solve for these issues. And while there is awareness building on the consumer side where like people don't know this is going on, there are avengers on the other side that have known these problems have existed the past 20 years and have been working their asses off to make sure that we're safe on the internet. So I don't want people to feel like the world is ending. There are people out there that are doing the best that they can.
Thanks for being an Avenger.
Thank you for having me.
It's really been a pleasure. Tazin Khan is a globally recognized cyber risk expert, digital rights advocate, and the founder and CEO of Cyber Collective. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Keep fighting.